the mistakes. You gotta not let those huge marketing mistakes stop you. There are a few things that you need to understand before going into your marketing sales message, going in there and really understanding, okay, what should I do? What should I do first? And you gotta start with a hook, because every good marketing sales message starts with a great hook. And let me tell you guys something, and I'm going to involve you guys in that. Remember, you get an email or newsletter from anybody, pretty much anybody that's sent to you, or you're reading a sales copy, something like that. I guarantee you that you never read, or you read maybe one or two sales letter in your life fully. You pretty much never read an entire sales letter. Am I right? And I know am I, because that's what we learn in marketing. Pretty much 99% of the people are just going to read the headline, and that's going to make them decide, hey, do I read the rest? And reading is maybe like watching a third of your video at most, reading a few bullets, and they're going to take a decision from that point. So you got to make sure that each part of your copy is top notch. Whatever your copy is, like a video written on the sales funnel, you got to make sure that it's top notch, especially the first line, meaning the headline. The headline is the most important thing, because that's the first thing your people are coming in like, okay, you got like a third of a second to make them decide, hey, should I read this or not? And a great copywriting tips that we got is to make sure that we spend 80% of the time actually creating the best headline possible. If you're creating a video, spend 80% of the time making the best 3 seconds, 10 seconds, first minute of that video, depending on the length of the video. 80% of the time creating that first piece, because that's the most important. Because if they do not decide to watch the rest, to read the rest, but the thing is, hey, the rest won't matter. So you got to focus 80% of your time in that part of the process. From there, you can spend the rest of your time on the rest of the sales copy. But the headline is by far the most important. Every great marketer that you're going to listen to, that you're going to read some books, if you listen to the Gary Alberts, the Claude Hopkins, all those guys, Russell Brunson, any guys that has been doing marketing that was successful at it, Ogilvy as well, they will tell you the same thing. Focus 80% of your time on the headline, on the first thing that the people are thrown at. So it can be the beginning of the video, as I just told you guys, or it can be the hook basically. You got to focus on the hook. What's going to get their attention, grab their eyes, and make sure they decide to get to know more about this. And in order to do that, you got to use curiosity. Curiosity is extremely important. A great example that I can use is, for example, let's say you put a webinar, you're setting up a webinar, and an headline that will not work would be talking about what's in the webinar. Like, hey, we're going to talk about this thing, it's going to give you those results. Well, that's, I would say, great. That's better than nothing. But the problem with that is that you do not create some curiosity. But if I say something like this, my weird niche that's making me like $37,000 a day, like you're like, hey, what's that? And you see the landing page and you're like, and you got a picture that, that's a great way to do a webinar. You put a picture that like doesn't get like, you show a picture of like of yourself, let's say like doing a presentation, but doesn't give away what you're going to talk about. Damn, you create some curiosity, and curiosity is key in order to make sure your headline is great. Curiosity is extremely important whenever you are doing your headline, because if you do not create curiosity, opening loops, like that's whenever you are telling stories, in order to grab the attention of people that are listening to your stories using open loops. When you do a storytelling situation, the best way to start a story is by starting with the highest drama point. This huge thing happened to me. Let me tell you how I went to this point. You're opening the loop, creating some curiosity. Now people listen. Now people want to read the rest, listen to your story. That's exactly the same thing whenever you're doing some headlines and you're focusing on creating a great sales copy. You got to do the exact same thing. Create as much curiosity as possible. So you make sure that people are going to be like, hey, what's that? I want to know what it is. And they are pretty much forced in order to get the answer to what you just put it out, to listen to the rest, to watch the rest of your copy, to read the rest, whatever is it that you are doing.